Hey friends, it is Wednesday, October 11th. The bad news is that you're not in class. The good news is you know where to go for your help. So we come in today and our learning target is that we will develop strategies for rewriting, terminating, and repeating decimals as fractions. Our success criteria for today is can you find patterns in terminating and repeating decimals, and especially in repeating decimals, because that's the big one for today. In our ebooks, we're in 2.1.2. In our groups today, the heart, those people are keeping everyone in the group on task, and they're making sure that if we need a reader, that they make sure we have a reader, and they're going to ask the questions to try to keep the group focused. Who wants to do this? Who has a question about this? So the heart is going to be asking organization questions. Keeping the group on task. Yeah, let's just say that. Let's just say they're keeping the group on task. Okay. The clubs are going to be writing everything today, and today the spades are going to be getting materials. The materials we're going to need dry erase boards, and we're going to need markers, and we will need erasers. If there's any questions, the club is going to raise their hand if you need anything, and the heart will be explaining to the teacher what they need. Sound good? Okay, so the first thing we did is we looked at our homework and we looked at these problems. 2.9, 2.10, and 2.15. And we went through these and we said convert the following fractions to decimals, show your work. Remember, anytime you want, you can go into your CPM ebook and click on your homework help. But we converted 2/5 from a fraction to a decimal, and we showed how to do that two ways. We did that with the cheese sticks, and then we did that with long division. Then we went to 3/8 and we divided that. We were going to start with the cheese sticks, and then we said, well, that's a lot of people to divide into 8. So then we said, well, let's just jump to long division and do it that way. And then on the last one, we had 30/20ths, and we noticed that we could take 30/20ths and make it a lot easier if we just took a 0 off of the top and the bottom and made it 3/2. The next one we looked at, we said Mario ordered a pizza for dinner. When it arrived, Mario ate 1/8 of the pizza. While Mario was getting napkins, his pet poodle ate 1/3 of the pizza. So we wanted to draw a model of the pizza. And then we were like, well, how many pieces should we cut the pizza into? So then we looked and we said, well, the pizza, what do 8 and 3 both go into? So we went 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. And then by 3s, we went 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. We found out that they both went into 24. So then we converted 1/3 to times a giant 1 to make it out of 24th. We took 1/8 times a giant 1 to make it out of 24th. And then we knew how many pieces to make. The last one we had was Thomas has a bag with 7 green marbles, 5 blue marbles, and 4 red. If we put in a marble, select it, put it back in, what's the probability of getting a red marble? So we had to set up a fraction of the number of red marbles over the number of total marbles. Then we said a red or a green. A red or a green. So it could be red 4 or green 7. How many is that out of the total? And then what was the probability of picking an orange marble? After that, what we did is we went to lessons 219, 220, and 221. So in 219, what we wanted to do is we wanted to look at this. We told the kids, in order to make the decimal 19 hundredths, tenths, hundredths, I just go 19 over 100. And then we said this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So this is 391 over 1,000. Then they checked it with their calculator to make sure that 391 divided by 1,000 is 391 thousandths. Next, we said, what is this fraction going to look like? So they worked on that in their group. And then we said, well, what does this fraction look like? And they worked on that in their group. And I said, well, what does this fraction look like? And they worked on that in their group and they checked with their calculators. And what does 524 thousandths look like as a fraction? So then they worked on that as a group. They double checked with the calculator. And then we went through that as a group. The next thing we did is we went to an extension video, and I'll share this extension video. Oh no, then we went to 220, I'm sorry. So then in 220, we said this. Jerome works at a fraction factory in the department that changes decimals into fractions. He just received an order to rewrite 73 repeating as a fractions. He started to write it as 73 hundredths, but he's not sure if he's correct or not. So the question is 73 over 100, is that the same as 73 hundredths repeating? That was the question we had. And then we went to 221. And then we said, Katrina is now responsible for finding the decimal equivalent for each of the numbers below. She thinks these fractions have something to do with the decimals in 219, but she's not so sure. So then we said, if you went 19 divided by 99, what decimal would that be? And if you went 391 divided by 999, what decimal would that be? And if we went 3 divided by 9, what decimal is that? And if we went 1 divided by 999, what decimal? And 524 divided by 999, what decimal? And 19 divided by 999. And then we were trying to figure out in our groups, do you notice any patterns? Do you see anything happening here? So if you try this at home, do you think you're going to see any things happening here? Any patterns develop? From there, we went on to the extension. And this was just a little video. And this showed, and I'll attach this. And this was how some people figured out the difference between repeating decimals. Okay? And it's kind of complicated. So if you don't understand it all, don't worry. But it's just kind of cool to see that. So then from the extension, we went on to lesson 223. And that one looked like this. Congratulations, because of your new skills with rewriting fractions and decimals, you have been put in charge of the designer decimals department of the fraction factory. People write to your department and order their favorite fractions written as beautiful decimals. Recently, your department has received some strange orders. Review each order and decide, can you complete it or not? If possible, find the new fraction or decimal. If it's not possible to complete this order, write to the customer and explain why the order cannot be completed. Order 1. I'd like a terminating decimal to represent 44 over 99. Can you complete that order? Order 2. Can you send me 208 thousandths as two different fractions, one with 3,000 in the denominator and one with 125 in the denominator? Can you do that? Then order 3 says, please send me 0.43 repeating as a fraction. Can you fill that one? Kids worked on that. We did a wheel of names. We spun by state. We got some answers. And then we went into some homework. So our homework was 226 and 227. In 226, we wanted to know, are these repeating or terminating decimals? Are these fractions repeating or terminating decimals? How do you know? And then we wanted to copy the portion webs. So we wanted to represent 5/8. We see that it is 625 thousandths as a decimal and 62.5 or 62.5%. What does the picture or the words look like? And over here we have the words 3 and 3/10. We have 3.3, we have 330%, but we do not have the fraction. What does the fraction look like? Finally, we came back to our closure. And as the kids were getting ready to pack up and getting ready to read, I said, how do you change a repeating decimal into a fraction? All right, that's the lesson for today, 2.1.2. I hope I see you on Thursday, and I hope you are well, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Okay, friends. See ya.